The HFY swarm had conquered 47 star systems in 3 months. Their strategy was simple and brutally effective: overwhelm with numbers, consume all resources, move to the next target. For 15,000 years, they had been the galaxy's most feared force, an endless tide of chitinous nightmares that turned worlds into lifeless husks. When they reached human space, the Galactic Council sent their condolences. Humanity had been part of the interstellar community for barely a century. They were young, idealistic, and tragically unprepared. The HFY would consume them within weeks. Admiral Marcus Webb studied the tactical display aboard the UNSC Retribution, watching millions of HFY bioships swarm toward Earth's outer colonies. His staff waited nervously for orders to retreat, to evacuate, to save what they could. Instead, Webb smiled. "They hunt like insects," he observed quietly. "Pheromone trails, hive commands, predictable patterns." He looked up at his officers. "We hunt like wolves." The HFY hit the colony of Proxima 7 expecting minimal resistance. They found an abandoned world. Every human had vanished, leaving behind fully functional infrastructure, stored food, and what appeared to be a completely defenseless prize. The swarm landed en masse to consume and colonize. That's when the fusion mines detonated. Buried in the planet's crust, they triggered a chain reaction that turned Proxima 7 into a miniature sun. 3 million HFY died in an instant, and their psychic death scream rippled through the swarm's hive mind. It was the first time in their species' history that the HFY felt fear. The humans didn't fight like other species. They didn't defend territory or stand their ground. They lured, ambushed, and vanished. They poisoned resource deposits the HFY needed. They hacked into the swarm's biological communication network and fed false information. They turned asteroids into kinetic weapons and sent them through predictable HFY travel routes. Most terrifying of all, they adapted. Every HFY tactic was countered within days. When the swarm evolved acid-resistant bioships, humans deployed thermal weapons. When they developed thermal shielding, humans used kinetic projectiles. When they spread out to avoid concentrated attacks, human strike teams hunted them in small packs with terrifying efficiency. Commander Sherval of the Council Observer Fleet watched in horrified fascination as humanity waged war. "They're not defending," she whispered to her science officer. "They're hunting." The truth was undeniable in the data. Humans possessed forward-facing eyes, predators' eyes. Their teeth were designed for tearing. Their endurance was legendary, they could track prey for days without stopping. Even their psychology reflected apex predator behavior: pack bonding, strategic planning, the ability to pursue vengeance across years. The galaxy had mistaken humanity's cooperation and diplomacy for weakness. They hadn't realized these were simply tools that predators used to coordinate hunts. The war ended after 18 months. Not because the HFY were defeated, but because they fled. For the first time in their species' existence, the swarm retreated from prey, their hive mind carrying a new instinct: avoid the humans. Admiral Webb stood before the Galactic Council, humanity's first military victory behind him. The assembled species looked at humans differently now. Some with respect. Others with barely concealed terror. "You broke them," Council Prime Torval said quietly. "The HFY have never retreated before." Webb's expression remained neutral, but his eyes, those forward-facing predators' eyes, held something ancient and unmistakable. "We didn't break them, Prime. We taught them their place in the food chain." The council chamber fell silent. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage as students and diplomats. They had revealed themselves as something far more dangerous: survivors from a death world who had clawed their way to the top of their evolutionary ladder. The galaxy's apex predator had finally left its cradle, and the stars would never be the same.